Hey girl, hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ty, better known as SweetPetiteLatrice. So I made some little notes. I had to jot down some notes on my phone so I wouldn't get off topic and go all the way left or all the way right. We can't do that. We got to stay focused. I did jot down the main questions that I get about cruise lines, or not cruise lines, the main questions that I get about cruising and just the difference in the location. So I did kind of jot down some notes and yeah, hope I give y'all a little insight on what cruising is all about if you've never cruised before. Let's get straight into it. I have about 10 topics, so let's get into it. Talk about packages. There's like 3 main packages with cruising. It's more, but it's like 3 main ones. That would be the internet, the drink package, and then I want to say it's a photo package. Those are like the main 3 I think people prepay for. Okay, so photo package, don't ask me about it. I'm not doing it. You starting off with 300 going up to 6. I'm not paying that much for photos. I'm sorry. I have my own phone. I have my own cameras. No, not paying for the photo packages. Let it go. Internet package. As soon as you hit that boat, internet is gone. Once you go to your room and all that, it's no internet service down there. But, you know, on the top of the very top of the boat, if you are near land, then you may have internet service. I did pay for the internet package. You have different internet packages. You have one that's like generic. So it's kind of like, this is a streaming service. You can kind of play your game, or you can watch Hulu and Netflix, and then it kind of goes up. Then you can watch Hulu, Netflix, your game, and FaceTime calling. So then it goes up again. So for 6 days of internet, I paid $200. When I was with Carnival Breeze, we cruised to Costa Maya, Cozumel, Mexico. Right, those are Mexico locations. Carnival Luminosa, we cruised to Alaska. Okay, Carnival Breeze, I had my family, my husband, my son. I did not pay for any internet packages. My mindset going to Carnival, my mindset on the first cruise was relaxing. I didn't want to have contact with the world. I didn't want to be on social media. I didn't want to do any of that. So I did not pay for internet. Alaska was a totally different vibe. It was me and my husband only. My son stayed back home. So I wanted to get in contact with him. I was going to go crazy. Okay. Not being able to talk to my son for 7 days. The drink package. The drink package comes in different packages as well. You have just like a soda package. Then you have a wine package, which I think is fairly new because I never seen the wine package until recently. And then you have like the liquor package. Okay. So I've always focused on the liquor package because I'm not like a huge wine drinker where I would pay for a wine package like that. So the liquor, and if anything, I'm gonna fall for a soda package. That's why we got a good now, because we'll do a soda package in a minute. Okay. The liquor package was, I believe, $70 a day. It totaled out, I know I remember saying it would be like 400 something bucks, like 420 bucks for a week. It is a limit to that. I think the limit was 15 drinks a day. Okay, so you pay the $400, you can get 15 drinks a day, and then you have to come back after so many minutes, something like that. And the way the drink package is set up, if there is 2 adults in the room, then y'all both have to pay for that drink package. Even if one only wants it, both of y'all have to pay. Of course, they are thinking that I'm gonna buy the drink for whoever's in my room. Like, duh. Because if it was not set up, were they blocking? Because that's what they're doing. If they was not blocking, baby, I would have paid for one drink package. Absolutely. I would have paid the $400 for us to share. But no, I was not going to pay $800 because I'm not a drinker like that. I probably can go for maybe 3 drinks a day. So it wasn't worth it for me. Now, Jamez will probably hit his 7 to 8 drinks a day, so he probably would benefit more from the drink package than I would. But I knew that we weren't even gonna touch $800 in drinks. So no, I wasn't doing it. Number two, the rooms. Let's talk about the rooms. So with Carnival Breeze, I booked a suite. With Carnival Luminosa, I booked interior room. So I went from like the best all the way down to the worst. Okay. So of course, with a suite, it's enough room to where it's comfortable. Um, our room, we did a king size bed. Me and Jermez had a bed, and Tristan had a little couch that he could sleep on. So he was cool with that. We offered to switch out with him, but he was fine with his little couch. When it came to the interior room, baby, I couldn't even turn around. I could not turn around. With the interior room, you have to be very neat and tidy and keep your things put up. We had 2 huge suitcases. If we would have left those suitcases out, we would have literally been tripping or bumping into, no. So you had to be neat, tidy. You take your stuff out. When you take your stuff off, put it back in the suitcase. That's how neat and tidy I was. You had to be very neat, because if not, no. It just wouldn't have been a comfortable environment. And it made me feel very claustrophobic. Which brings me into number 3, which is the sickness, the motion sickness. Now, I hear this a lot from people that, oh, I can't cruise because I don't want to be sick, all of that. Being out in the middle of the sea and all of that water, girl, is not what you think it is. It is not what you think it is. Now, when I was on Breeze, I felt motion sickness on the way back to Houston. Which it was like day 6. Yeah, I think was it 6? I don't know if it was 5 or 6. We did a 7-day cruise, but I can't remember if it was 5 or 6 where we turned around and we were headed back. And it's like they speed, like they're speeding, and you could feel, like, I didn't feel the motion sickness within my body, but I felt like I was literally awake drunk. So I was literally like on the boat, like, ooh, just trying to keep my balance. That's what I'm trying to say. So my body didn't feel sick, but I was just trying to keep my balance. With Carnival Luminosa, I definitely felt it. And it happened one day with this little tiny room. That's another thing I didn't like about the interior room. Of course, there's no windows. So I went to take a nap. And when I woke up from that nap, it's like my whole body was just like, I just wanted to vomit. So I did have some motion sickness pills, and I did have some nauseous pills. So I took both of those, and I kind of sat down for maybe like a good hour. I just went up and sat down for like an hour, and I was good. But I don't know, it was something about the interior room. It's just like you can't see anything, but you feel everything. I felt everything. So I could feel the boat moving, but I didn't get sick until like day 5. It was something like that. So I actually felt sick one day out of 7 days, but I could feel everything in the interior room, if that makes sense. Topic number 4, we'll talk about the onboarding activities. It was totally different because I was on some turn up, okay? So I participated in a lot of things. I did bingo. I did their little shows, like musical shows that they had. I went to, what else did we do? We did the comedy show. We did the movies. And it was, of course, we did the casino. And there was, on deck 2, there was always like live music and dancing. Karaoke, we went to karaoke. So we kind of participated more in the activities on Luminosa. It was totally different with the cast and the crew than Breeze, because Breeze, it gave me more of a turn up vibe. I'm not gonna say I regret because this is not my last cruise, so I will go on Breeze again, or I'll go to a tropical location again. But I noticed the difference in entertainment when it comes to the 70s, 80s party. So it's kind of like one party everybody looks forward to on the Carnival Cruise Line. Everybody gets dressed with their 70s, 80s gear, and it's just like a vibe. Okay, it was just dancing all night or whatever. With Carnival Breeze, the host was so awesome. Like, if you didn't have rhythm, he would stop and be like, no, I need you to do it like this. He just made it so fun to where people was trying hard. You were entertained. It was comedy. It was everything. With Carnival Luminosa, the guy, it was just like, all right, we're gonna, like, we'll do our next song or dance or whatever. And it was literally like, you just do the dance and next. Like, no. When it came to the movies, I noticed that nobody was there on Luminosa. Breeze, I mean, the deck was always filled. When there was a movie, it did not matter. The Lido deck was always filled. When Luminosa, it was not like that. And I can imagine it's a colder, the boat is a cold area that we're cruising to. And even though that the Lido deck was enclosed, it didn't matter because it was just like, it's still breezy up here. You still need a blanket. But what's crazy is, to be honest, Carnival Breeze, I think the name is Carnival Breeze because it was cool on Carnival Breeze. And we were in the middle of the summer. But I would just get like a robe, my robe that they provided in the room, and I would just go upstairs with my robe on. But I don't know, it was like super windy. We was in the middle of the ocean. It was cool. So I don't know, but it was not as many people at the 70s, 80s party. I don't know why people didn't participate, but whatever to that. All right, next, let's talk about, okay, we did that one. The crowd. The crowd on Luminosa was an older crowd. I think with Luminosa, from my experience and just the reactions that I got when I said, just being home and telling people, hey, I'm finna go on a cruise, and everybody want to know where you're going, and I say Alaska, the people that were the most amazed were older people. Okay. And when I say older, I'm talking about 50s and up. This crowd, like middle-aged people, were like so fascinated and excited for me. And they were all middle-aged, and they were like, oh my God, like it was on everybody's bucket list to go to Alaska. So Luminosa was just that. It was a bunch of older people, and I honestly, y'all, I don't remember seeing any teenagers. I can't think of one teenager. No, I don't recall seeing any teenagers. I don't recall seeing any children. Like, I think I think, of course, in our group there were a couple 20-year-olds, and I, like, not 20 but like mid-20s. So yeah, I think that's the youngest I've seen. I don't recall seeing anything younger than like mid-20s. Carnival Breeze, I seen a lot of children. Like, I seen from 2 all the way up to 50s, 60s, 70s. Like, so Carnival Breeze was a huge variety of people versus Luminosa. Which brings me to the point, I'm very, very happy I didn't take Tristan, because at first I was like, I should have just wrote a note to the school letting them know he's going to be out for a week. But I think he would have been so bored. So bored. So I'm very happy that I did not take Tristan on this cruise. We'll talk about the food. Let's go to the food. When it comes to the food, you have many restaurants, right? Of course, these restaurants have closing times just like anywhere else. But you have restaurants that's open every day that serves the same things. And maybe it might be like one restaurant, like a marketplace restaurant, that switches a couple things out. But majority of the time, the food is going to be the same every day. So on Carnival Breeze, actually, I did not see much of a difference with the food. The only thing I noticed that was different, well, let's talk about what's the same. So they're gonna have pizza, they have burgers, um, pizza, burgers, and then there'll be like a sandwich line, um, salad bar, fruit, fruit and sweets bar. And then they have like their actual restaurants where they're charging you. So that food will be free. Then they have their actual restaurants, which most of the time it's a steakhouse. I think on Breeze I've seen an Italian restaurant. I've seen a seafood restaurant, and all those things were on Luminosa except for like the Italian restaurant. And then you have your actual dinner, which is free, that you go to every night if you choose. If you don't choose to go, you just don't choose to go. But they are expecting you at dinner every night. Now, I like the dinners because the dinners are kind of like what I've noticed, the food that they charge you, the restaurants that they charge you for, they might be serving that at dinner for that night. Does that make sense? So they'll charge you for the seafood restaurant, you know, if you go during the day or whatever, but you might go to dinner and they have lobster, you know. And then the next night at dinner, they might have, which you have a list of options, but then it's never the same, is what I'm saying. It's never the same options, and the dinners are always different. So, the couple nights that I went to dinner, I don't remember everything that was on the menu, but I know I ordered lobster. This is Luminosa. This is my most recent cruise. I ordered lobster one night, and another night I ordered steak. So if I would have went to the steakhouse, I would have paid full price for the steak. And it depends on the options for the day, because if on Monday night they were serving lobster for free, that doesn't mean on Tuesday night lobster would be free, but it's still going to be on the menu. So I enjoy the dinners just to see the variety of things to try. And I did learn something new with this go round. You are allowed to switch out your food. Like if you be like, I wasn't feeling the filet mignon, I'd rather have, I don't know, shrimp Alfredo. You can definitely switch it out. No charge, none of that. So remember that when you go on your cruise, it doesn't matter what it is, from the appetizer, the entree, the dessert. If you take a couple bites and you don't like it, you can send it back and get something different free of charge. Okay. One place everybody looks forward to on the cruise line is the Burger Guy joint, whatever it was called, the Burger Guy that's on the Food Channel. He does have a burger line or a burger restaurant or whatever on the cruise, on Carnival Cruise. But Luminosa did not have that, but they still did serve burgers, and they were just as good. Another difference I seen, they had like a Chinese or Asian restaurant. I did not see that on Carnival Breeze. So the food was pretty much the same. Excursions. The excursions, just thinking about the excursions, it puts me in my feelings. Let's talk about why. When I went on Carnival Breeze, when I cruised with Carnival Breeze, I was on so much relaxation, I didn't care about an excursion. So the type of excursions for tropical locations, you know, it's gonna be freaking snorkeling, and you might have some zip lining and some, I don't know. But you get what I'm saying. It's water locations, whatever you can do on the water, skiing, you're going to have those type of excursions, right? Alaska, it's like a once in a lifetime. When am I gonna go back to Alaska? So I regret not doing a lot of excursions. I really do. I don't even want to think about it, but I regret it. I regret not booking a whale watching excursion. Main reason is because from the boat, I would see the whales come up, but they wouldn't like jump up, or they wouldn't even come up long enough for you to get a picture. They would come up and flap their fins and go down. They would blow, not blow their horns, but you know what I'm talking about, blow the air up or whatever. You could never get a very, very good view of the whales. So I regret not doing a whale watching excursion. I did do glacier watching, but I feel like it was total opposite. I should have went and watched the whales and not pay for the glaciers, because the glaciers we seen from the boat. Now we didn't see the full glaciers, but we could see where the ice then fell off, it's floating in the water. So I regret not booking more excursions. Yeah, Alaska is just that once in a lifetime place. Like, they had like a salmon bake excursion. Like, I want to say one of them was you actually fish for the salmon. You actually fish for the fish. You actually go fishing and then you skin it and bake it. And I want to say that was one of the excursions. I just remember salmon bake, but I think you actually catch the fish and cook it, if I'm not mistaken. So I wish I would have did more, because the seafood in Alaska is totally different. Everything was so good and fresh. Last but not least, the port stops. When it came to Alaska, the stops were the same to me. You had souvenir shops, and then you had, of course, like shopping centers and food. Like, those were your only options at every stop. But we could not get off the boat in Canada because we did not have our passports, or we don't have our passports. We're working on that. So hold the judgment, okay? But we didn't have our passport, so we didn't get off in Canada. We missed Ketchikan because Ketchikan was Jermaine didn't feel good in Ketchikan. So we missed getting off the boat there. But I did ask my friends, like, was it nice? It was the same. Like, it was just food and shopping centers. So I did not like that part about Alaska. It wasn't much, to do. I don't know. I don't know what more they can add at their ports, because those are cold locations. But I don't care if it was like ice carving areas, or even if they just had some type of show. Even if they had like a museum at the port, something, but whatever. My overall rating of the Alaska cruise would be about an 8 out of 10. It's a very beautiful place. Very, very, very beautiful. But you'll see so many things you've never seen before. Everything about Alaska was beautiful. And it just felt so, the air felt so clean and fresh. Thank y'all for tuning into this video. If I did not answer something that you probably had a question about, drop down below and comment. It's time to jump into some fall content. So until next time, peace, love, and blessings. And I will see y'all in a few weeks.